made it back in one piece. Just. To be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. So many carriages on the street of London. You were very nearly flattened several times. Oh no, I didn't mean that. Yes, I know. It was a marvellous defenseman, Naruhodo-san. It really was. I was in awe of you. Oh, thank you. And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can't find some new clues for the court tomorrow. Yes, let's do that. Is everything alright? I suppose. I still can't quite believe it, that's all. That I'm here in England, working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes. It should have been Kazuma. It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you followed him to England and work alongside him. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. You're doing wonderfully, Naruhodo-san. No doubt that Kazuma-sama would say the exact same if he were here with us. Thank you, Sato-san. Thank you. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand. No. Not only that, but then finding out he's actually a barefaced gas thief as well. Yes, it was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san poisoning the tea. Careful with your phrases, Susato-san! He didn't poison anything! And there's more to this, Mr. Shamsby, than we yet know. I'm sure of it. Mr. Shamsby certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first. What's become of him, actually? I was told that he'd been returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment. Which one is that? Let me see. Ah yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's as Londoners call it. We know that place, don't we? Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. It's the same hospital to which she was taken. Ah yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back? Do be careful with your phrasing, Naruhodo-san! He didn't stab anyone! Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Oh, what next? Oh, well, that. Investigating. Hospital, maybe. So, we know that Soseki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But as he isn't the culprit, then obviously... Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea. But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamsby's body? I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene. There must be something in Mr. Shamsby's room that will help solve the mystery. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been all over the place already. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think. There have been major oversights. Definitely! I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap. Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about that. Cosmo Sorgi. The best friend I ever had. And a lawyer with such promise. He really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. Then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. Cosmo, won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so that I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial. You really ought to go into law. Be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it. Believe me, I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You'll have to decide for yourself. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world. The city at the forefront of everything. It can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. That's true. I suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? No, never mind. Naruhodo-san? Sorry, I was just thinking about Kazuma. Yes, he's forever in my thoughts too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. That's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course. Yes, that's right. Yes? I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Naruhodo-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions? I mean this. His katana. I never expected to inherit this sword after Kazuma passed away, of course. No, I know. It's because I asked you to take it. And I have it at my side in court. I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Karuma. That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through the generations of the Sorgi clan. Japanese man's sword is a soul, Ryunosuke. It can't be parted from my katana. Karuma guides me. I truly believe that. So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. That subject. There's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do. Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down. What did he mean by something very important that I have to do? I hope that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue. I see. Well, let's just visit the hospital, I think. Since that was on my mind first. What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance. Yes, I hear angry voices. Be not angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken, my foot. You were looking at my painting. The eye of a man hath not heard. The ear of a man hath not seen. 'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustache villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady. I wish that you died from that poison. God of mercy, ample lady, thou seest I am vigor still. Behold, my Shakespeare dance. This looks rather ominous, doesn't it? Hello, 'tis the lawyer from the land which riseth the sun. How now? What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspeed? Marry, I do believe I am returned unto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing, looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so dark he clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee. Thank you. But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow, does it? Anon, exeunt! Mr. Shamspeare might technically be the victim in this case. There's definitely a lot more to it than that. It's very hard to pin the man down. I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person. Miss Green, is everything alright? Yes, I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now. I see. I'm delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it. So, are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me. Yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it? As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days. Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly. Really? Anyway, I must start getting my things together now so I'm ready to be discharged. Of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. It's curious, perhaps. A mouse, Mr. Naruto! An enormous mouse! Vermin in a hospital. That doesn't seem the best. Is this an OSHA violation? Oh, never mind. It looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Oh, we're not snooping through a bag, are we? That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Then let's see what's it. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo! You must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings! Or anyone's. But the young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel! Bit of a sweet tooth, are you? There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? If you were a patient here, I feel sure you take some medicine by mistake when you were half asleep. That is a worry, but at least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy-looking one. Oh, I've no doubt you managed to unlock that somehow while you were half asleep as well. There are limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mr. Sato. Always poking at me. Oh, we can't snoop. That's fine, that's fine. Sorry. Is this Shakespeare's bit? Is it? Wait. This looks like the treatment notes for whoever is occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. The patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so he or she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. That's random. Yep, alright. Alright, back to the real investigation. Hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? We were hoping to have another look around, actually. The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware. Yeah, I know the score. Yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, we found it alright. There was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it! It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Pretty impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget it. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in here. You'll be watching us. Don't worry. What more can we look at? Oh yeah, the soap. Let's see. The sun never shines in this room thanks to that depressing bricked up window. Yeah, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you? Sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mr. Sutton. Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Nuttlehoodle. I suppose you have to wait until they test for the T, yes. Strychnine or strychnine. I still haven't googled it. There's not much on these shelves, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yes, not much use, are they? What's the matter? Oh, I was just reminded of the Reaper, that's all. Prosecutor Lord Von Ziegs. Yes, so reckless with his wine glasses. I was thinking it's a waste and that he should donate some to the needy. You can suggest it next time we meet. Same one brought to court, I imagine? If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change. London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Sasata-san and I are going to make it to spring. It's true. We don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove. Look at how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter here. Yes, from all the water dripping out after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning. It's a very large and obvious stain, isn't it? Mr. Shamsby must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. The ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on the ill-fated night. During the heated literary debate, yes. Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion. Now think of it, I'm sure that the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison. Did one of them stab themselves? I can't remember. That's fiction, Mr. Sotto. Let's hope it stays that way. Oh yeah. Are you looking for new clothes, Inspector? On Lord Von Zieg's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you've got something for me, he says. Oh dear, poor you. Yeah, poor me, because we've already searched every bleeding nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. Well, at least he's honest. Not much to see here. Seriously, what's up with that letter, I wonder? Oh yeah, the soap. No. So it turns out that Mr. Shamsby wasn't eating the soap at all. That's right, the mystery of why he had on the plate whilst holding a fork in his hand is solved. Yes, to price his latest ice coin out of its mould. And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two. Certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. Poking at Sholmes, are we? Go over with fine-tooth reticle. Okay then, let's visit our client. Oh, Mr. Natsume is back. So he is. Mr. Natsume, hello. I am a cat. Sorry. I don't know who Mr. Natsume is, or Hairlock Sholmes. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That's what I am. Just a cat. Mr. Naruhodo, he's trying to escape from reality. Trying to? He already has. Completely. So, what is your name then? Yes, I have no name. Mr. Naruhodo, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality. Do you think you could open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? I am not a cat. It worked! He's back in the real world! What's going to come on me? No! Don't answer that! It's obvious! My accursed soul is never going to escape this accursed fate! Mr. Natsume, no! This morning's proceedings in court and prove that there's hope! Yes! Look of shooter Mr. Naruhodo Esquire was brilliant! But what? The Reaper is omnipresent! In court! In my lodgings! Here, there! Everywhere! What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss? Oh, yes! Yes, we must! Let's discuss this morning's trial. In my whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two occasions that moved me more. What if I just blocked those out to them today? Being in the courtroom was it was the most moving experience of my life. Look at Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! You're too kind. Scotland Yard found the remaining tea just as we deduced, and are analysing it as we speak. There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's a solemn, sworn, soul-sinking certainty. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. Wait, what's going on here then? We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies. And at the time, we were both completely fine. Shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamsby then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim then. Wait, what? He did. Shamsby did drink the tea at the same time. Maybe he had multiple cups. Does he? That rotten Shamsby! What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? I've been holed up in my room immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all! Right. But what I don't understand is why he didn't let me know sooner. Then you know what, Mr. Nutsmere? About the soap, of course. What else? Oh dear. You're struggling with such a meagre stipend. Of course I have had money. I wouldn't have chosen to live in a cursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Yes, you said it's because the place is cursed that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly, especially the room that I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who left there still haunts the place and is trying to kill me! Capital offender? Might I ask, locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, that the next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps? I don't know how that's going to help, but alright. And speaking of soap, should we present it as a joke? Mr. Nutsmere, what do you know about this? There it is! The lavery lowlife that took my neighbour's life and sent me sliding to the depths of despair! Slippery, sickly, psychotic saboteur! You've really gone off soap, haven't you? Absolutely! And I've made up my mind. The next time someone gives me soap as a present, it's friendship finished firmly forever! I don't know that we can blame soap for everything that's happened, Mr. Nutsmere. Mr. Nutsmere, it's nothing much, but... Oh, it's been too long since I've been offered a present with that delightfully, etiquette of our homeland. What? You're too kind. I accept it gladly. Sorry, but I wasn't trying to give it to you, actually. Oh, okay, dang, is there nothing else? Really? Alright, I don't know, he's got nothing more to say, so, oh yeah, I guess we haven't seen them in a hot minute. Oh, Bruno and Susie! Hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll get some cups. Really? Thanks, Iris. But actually... What is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers return at last. Where on earth have the pair of you been? We've been in court. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case. That was today, wasn't it? I'm sure I mentioned it only yesterday, Mr. Sholmes. I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Really? I would have liked to see it. I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Von Zieks an acquaintance, Mr. Sholmes? Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruhodo. Not quite what I asked, but still. Huh. Sholmes, whatever is that odor? Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That's a sense of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. Oh dear. Alright, oh boy. What's he up to now? Well, first of all, what is that indescribably foul smell? Oh well, most probably this, I would say. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. A chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is genuine at the drop of some tea. Oh my! There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high quality tea, but is in fact merely dyed leaves of drab flavour. Well, that's certainly unsavoury behaviour. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris! At the ready, Hurley. Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? It's turned completely black. What foul odour it's giving off! Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes and the more foul the odour, the better the tea is. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with that black liquid now? You can't drink that, can you? Oh, dispose of it. Now, surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? It does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Sholmes. It's really wasteful. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right! The point is, we are entering a new era of science, in the world of criminal investigation also. Yes, forensic science! Oh, these are such exciting times! I regularly engage in the scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Herlock-Sholmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. Forensic science? We'll get to forensics once it's last resort. So, your tea test. Is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is! An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether some tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Times sure change. Which is partly why I understand research in this field myself, of course. Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Sholmes? There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. No, what I am researching is skin prints. Skin prints? A nomenclature of my own design, as is this chemical agent that makes it possible. It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. Brilliant, Mr. Sholmes! As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Alright, sure, I look forward to it. what I also look forward to. Lord Baroque von Zieks. Yes, it's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, a person is doomed. Even if he or she is found not guilty by the courts, sooner or later, the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. Speaking of which, what happened to Gino? But vanish how exactly? By falling under a passing carriage, or drowning in the Thames, or succumbing to a sudden fever, or, quite out of the blue, being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring. If the rumours are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are by Lord von Zieks' own hand. As it happens, Mr. Soto, that is quite impossible. Why? Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast iron alibi. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrust into the trial at the Old Bailey. A bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. It really did end bitterly indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again. Poor Bruno, I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky. Or incredibly unlikable. I think it goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. With Mr. Nutsmere, who I'm currently defending, being Japanese as well as Mr. Sato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord von Zieks seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed. It is an interesting observation. Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Sholmes? It was about 10 years ago that Baroque von Zieks chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. No! What the? Tell us more, Mr. Sholmes! What happened? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Then why the teaser? What? That person betrayed him somehow? The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, it is Mr. Mustache who is most deserving of your attention, I believe. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues. That's the spirit, Bruno. See you later. Yes, until later. No, Mr. Sholmes. We were thinking you'd come with us. You were? Yes, of course. You said so. so just a moment ago. You said we witnessed your forensic talents in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go on ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later, in all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. Your commitment astounds me. Well, thank you, Mr. Sholmes. We'll eagerly await your arrival. Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Susie. Okay, I guess we'll go on ahead then. He got there before us, did he? What are you... This guy is a handful. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing over there? What a question indeed! Was it not your good self? Who asked me to attend the scene? Oi! What are you doing there, Sholmes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me! Once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Is now the time, Mr. Sholmes? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised? With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. What's all this? All this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruhodo. Sherlock Sholmes' sensational skin print seeker gun. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shamspeare's cup. Each individual leaves microscopic secretions on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touches is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. There. Now spray the chemical indicator about and all will be revealed. Spray. How do I do that exactly? A little press of A on the area you're interested in is all that's required. Like this. What is that stuff? It's like fog. Suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas. It's the most efficient way to cover a large area. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Alright, let's go left to right. Look, there are dozens of handprints here! So there are, a great many indeed. So much so that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact. It sends a chill down my spine. Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he admired this picture? Was he doing push-ups? Unlikely, I would say. It is a rather dull scene, after all. Without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel. Very true, Mrs. Huttle. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Clues, clues, and more clues. Bit there. Bit there. Nothing. Let's drown the whole place. Look at all this here. Oh yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints. Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot? Ooh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here. There's nothing obvious that he would have tripped over though, is there? I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over. I think that's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Sholmes. Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Well, we sprayed Mr. Sholmes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we? We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say. The handprints on the floor there, and on the wall by the picture, you mean? Yes, and I think the floor warrants closer investigation. I won't be a moment. Ah! What is it, Mr. Sato? Look here, Mr. Naruhodo. One of the floorboards has popped out. One of the... You mean... It's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So, what do we have in here? Oi! What are you not doing? Inspector Gregson! Stand aside right this minute! It's my job to investigate here. No need, Inspector. You continue to dig in your portion of chips, whilst we dig around under the floor here. Fancy talk sporting me off my food anyway, Sholmes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, secret hiding place under the floor. What a find! It's not a hiding place you could make use of in Japan. I don't think I could live with straw tummy, man. No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. It's got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious? Oh! I'll investigate at once! There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall. How disappointing. Well then, how do you explain the handprints? I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that. There you are! A print for you. Interesting. Thank you very much. His inventions can make prints too? Now then. I wonder if Inspector has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know! So am I! Aren't we all? And then back to this investigation music. Did you glean anything, sir? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath that floorboard there. Allow me to ask Grayson now. After all, we're well acquainted. Maybe we should drag Iris here too. Inspector Grayson! Really? It's been too long? What is it, Sholmes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. Good going. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Oh, I'd kill to know what's under that floorboard. We wouldn't want another trial, would we? Alright then, fair's fair. What? You did discover the hiding place after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in. Really, Inspector? Thank you! Do it quickly, my dear fellow! If there's one thing I know about this man, is that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Oi, stop making me out to be some kind of nut! There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? Well, I want to know all of them, but let's just go one by one. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. He made the headlines down here in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first. Oh my goodness! He committed a capital offence! Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he knocked off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, me, you mean? Jewellery and the like, but he hidden it somewhere, and no one knows where, and now he's dead. The papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to hell, or some such was the headline. Doesn't it strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? I suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we got on Selden back at the yard and see if I can turn anything up. Photographic print. That's so random. So, this is a photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here. The gentleman on the left is Mr. Garridup, the landlord, of course. But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garridup's son, perhaps? Well, he's a familiar face, to be sure. Maybe there's someone we can ask. Perhaps. You can take that print if you like. So generous. Are you sure? You can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Is that true? It's too bad if we do. Unfortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. I wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shamsby himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garridup was rather delighted to have been immortalised. He probably made a proud present of it. Finally... Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case. I wouldn't be in the least bit surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shamsby, give us a clue, man! We didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Nuttlehuddle. Anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box. Yes, thin air. It's empty. Rather like how I feel inside. So nothing more to this box then? I wonder. Huh. Oh look! It's that lovely little kitty cat! What was his name? It's Mr. Nutsmez, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him actually. Why don't we call it a Wakahai? You know, like Mr. Nutsmez refers to himself in Japanese. I wonder how he got in here. Clever cat. Oh, wonderful! Well then, Wakahai. There's something delicious for you from the cat's meat man. He couldn't be happier now, look! Just hope we can bring some happiness to his owner too. Wait, let me play! Oh. Oh. Oh my god, imagine this on the 3DS. Oh, I'm jealous. That's a cheeky little meow Wakahai. Oh, but he's so adorable. We'd sit around and watch him forever. I think he may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. Yes. Well, I have someone I have questions. I've got questions. Wait, do we even have the picture? Wait, we can't even present anything here. Let's see if new text pops up for this person. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green. Come on. Maybe not in the least. Alright, well I've got someone else we can ask. Alright? Right. Mr. Garrett appears to be out. What? Oh, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. Good going. Where could he possibly go? No, I am not sure. Actually, yeah, wait, I forgot to check our new pieces of evidence. Yeah, this one. Condemned criminal dies of natural causes in prison. Manchester Strangeways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours of this morning. He had been suffering with fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. That's vague. Now, I believe Natsume said something about a convict. Is this the one? What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamsby's room. Oh, so he knew, did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. Convicted killer, and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings! What? He's already taken one young man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another! A miserable mustache, much of I'm Japanese man! Mr. Natsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us! Tell us everything you can about this evil spirit! The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. And Selden Man was arrested about a year ago now. And at the time, he was hiding out in Lodgings at Mr. Garrado's house. What? Where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now. In my very room. Oh my! Your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offence? But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. That's when it started. Curse! What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Nutsmere? It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. A man who rented it after Selden, in fact. The poor lodger was found dead in mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So that's the convict's curse, isn't it? Yes. Well, that was the start of it. Do you have any idea how the lodger before you pass away, Mr. Nutsmere? The official cause of death was asphyxia. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Garradow came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily legal! Lucky for Mr. Garradow, maybe. But not so lucky for poor Mr. Nutsmere. And now you believe this curse is affecting you? It is, yes. At first, I just felt as though I was being watched all the time. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? They're not trying to take me with them. Comfort me and try to suffocate me. Just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. The room is as cold as ice. But why is your room so cold? London winters look too cold to bear without any heating overnight. For some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the boiler light always goes out and the room fills with gas. That's terrible! It's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Mr. Shamsby last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though. Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Garradow's rooms? Should we ask Mr. Garradow himself? I can't imagine presenting anything new to Nutsmere. Well, I didn't say what's his author said. Oh well. We'll find out. Yep, here we go. I don't know where you were the first time, but okay. Ah, you're here now, Mr. Garradow. What bally business it is for me, you know, getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, heard of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. The fate of what's already been dubbed your haunted lodgings, yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings or some such. Oh, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blaze is going on, don't you know? Was Sharms with us the whole time? Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Nutsmith's other charges 2 days ago. You were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened. Stopped off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? A lot of things. Should we just present? We're gonna present some things first, actually. Do you know this man? Mr. Garrido, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? Oh no, not at all. It was a lodger he was. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross. A street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot. Just for kicks, really. Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Nutsmith? Yes, that's right. Ah, the young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in that room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? Okay, we'll just dive right in. Yes, Duncan Ross. Young chap was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. A history of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. I hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what my lodgers are up to at the time. So sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. The smell of gas that alerted me that it was. Oh yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got inside, the old valley collapsed. Because of the gas. Yes, the room was full of it. Nowhere at all. So I must have gone out while the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave me a sound ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Tell you how much it sent me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. But even after all that work you've done, Mr. Nutsmith says the same thing. That the stove gas goes out at night while he's asleep in bed. Well, that's the valley curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now. Someone's feeling defensive. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, eh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that valley curse. The convict's curse, you mean? Heard the stories, have you? One scoundrel was arrested here. Then the next chap in the room goes and kills over. And there was a woman who dropped dead just outside on the street. Not to mention the actor yesterday. Am I next, eh? Well, can't help but get the collywobbles, can you? When you say the woman who dropped dead outside the street. Do you mean Miss Green? Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shamsby, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, it was a blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, a fascinating history. Why? It sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included, and no fireplace either. You do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up here. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you have your mishap already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Sholmes. Heaven forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Some fishy fellow from the farm. Mr. Nutsman is in no way fishy. He is undeniably peculiar, however. Is it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. So, how long has Mr. Shamsby been lodging under your roof? A failed actor, chap. Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. Only 3 months. It's quite new here, too. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Garrett, if I might ask? Well, it was that Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shamsby have some kind of connection, then? The convict chap, Selden. Passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see. It's a malady or other. Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time. Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face. The actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly. 'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shamsby, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor offered for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. Already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant though. Nothing can be made out of nothing. Let me repent mine will unto thee. Those crows must be muffling our ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. There's ground floor nothing. Very well. We have an accord. Glad to hear it. Welcome to Borough. Lo, a Shamsby dance to celebrate. From what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, alright. Thank you for your candor, Mr. Garrideb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal longings in me. What's happened to you? Why do we question it at this point? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. I wish to divulge my own learning of the subject, for I have a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more apt lines then? Ah, that reminds me actually. Yes? About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. A love letter, you mean? Yes, where did I put it now? What do you have it? Okay. Oh, here it is. Left it on my desk. If you'll excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence? My dear Mr. Sato, that is precisely why I preface my reading with, if you'll excuse me. I will not excuse you, Mr. Sholmes, no! I'm glad Sir Sato is holding him more accountable now. Sadly, he didn't address it, though. So I've got no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. I see. What's going to play on my mind? Really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case. I think we should leave well alone. I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing. However, there is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and charming sweetheart. Mr. Sholmes, please! I've already had to chastise about you this once! My undying love to you, my colourful darling. Olive Green. Olive Green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside this house 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Soseki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday. Is it just a chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence? Mr. Naruhodo, whatever can this mean? Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mr. Sato. We'll be out of your hair now. I think there's someone else we need to talk to. Now we can speak. She's not here? Mr. Naruhodo, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last. This is good news. But hopefully just before she leaves. What is it? Miss Green! What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment, I'll be with you in a jiffy. Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor said I can be discharged, so I'm just getting my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
Well, she's definitely behaving strangely. See if we can't coax something out of her. maybe? Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh no! I'm so sorry! The bottle of medicine fell down when she did. Oh, Miss Green! Are you alright? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting him. Well, how do you know about Duncan?
Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. The landlord found it in his room. It's a very personal letter. To you.
I was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan. A year ago now. I was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved. Yes, that's right. We're very much in love. We were engaged to be married, actually. That's when he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
And that's what led him to Mr. Garrenob's.
Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, a month ago, that's when it happened.
I'm so terribly sorry, Miss Green.
Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose.
Miss Green, she looks so desperately sad. I'm starting to think that's just her look. You're not scared! Have some tact! Now I see her, she has every reason to feel the universe is against her. I don't think there's anything else. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Yes. I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway. So I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. Probably shouldn't stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk, that's for sure.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course, we'll be on our way. Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Naruhodo! Surely you were not about to leave. It's quite out of the question. Mr. Soames, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows, as always. Make your presence known next time. Mr. Soames, what's this about? Ooh. Something which occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Sato, is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve a case after it's happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruhodo. So let us avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening, with nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look, and you cannot fail to see. You can do it, Mr. Naruhodo. I know you can. What's this unfortunate scene? Mouse seems to be dead, look. I didn't notice it there before, did you?
I think perhaps it drank the medicine that spilt out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
You don't think... Ah, I see you've come to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's falling into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before are spilt out on the floor. And the poor mouse that drank it sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Don't worry. I will attend to the mouse presently. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your own life?
Huh?
Once we'd left, you would have put it into your lips again, wouldn't you? Taken the poison?
Miss Green, please! Please talk to us!
It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a tense atmosphere. Yes. It may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Sholmes believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it. Oh, that's right. Ten seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we would not have enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hadn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine?
Well, this being a hospital and all, when the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings, he always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while. So I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
Why the would they leave poison there? It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought, if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow. Please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
It seems clear that it contains poison.
That poor little mouse is proof of that. It's my fault. What have I done?
I shall remove this from my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection.
No.
Neither the sender's name or address appear to be written on the envelope or the card.
arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
Oh, I have the... Oh, still stands. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. The 17th. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month. That's the day. That's the day you were stabbed on Briar Road. 5 p.m. It's precisely the time when the incident occurred. The Slug and Salad, yes. A pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Being the street that Mr. Garrett's house is on. Does this mean that?
Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad.
Goodness! So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I've told you everything.
Yes. I'm very sorry to have to drag up such painful memories for you.
No, it's fine.
It's great. Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again.
Yes, don't worry. The detective friend has the bottle now anyway. Besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but, well, that's how all this has made me feel.
Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trial for today. Yes, it's late. Mr. Naruhodo, did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamsby, Mr. Garredeb's lodgings, the convict Selden. There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. I can't help wondering about the results of their analysis. And to Mr. Nutsmare's team, you mean?
Yes. They have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way. It will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear.
Yes, Baroque von Zeeks. But I wish you every success, of course. Though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Nutsome's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. Away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleys and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I felt honor bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow will be a new dawn for all of us.